Welcome to Friday Night Smackdown. We are just 8 days away to WrestleMania. In tonight's main event, two legendary former world champions collide as Roman Reigns faces Randy Orton in a massive championship opportunity tournament quarterfinal. With the WrestleMania match and future world title shot at stake, will the OTC advance, or will his hopes be shattered by an RKO out of nowhere? Tonight, the Twin Terrors collide with the Irresistible Forces in a huge #1 contender match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. With Nick Aldis warning Chelsea Green and Piper Niven not to interfere, which powerhouse team will earn the right to challenge the champions at WrestleMania? European champion Dragon Lee teams with Octagon Jr. tonight after both men have saved each other from attacks by El Hijo del Vikingo and Lexis King in recent weeks. Now they look to stand united, fight back against their tormentors, and finally get a measure of revenge.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Tokyo, Japan, she is the beautiful madness, Giulia.
Giulia makes her way to the ring with ruthless focus, continuing her campaign to force her way into the WWE Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. With Becky Lynch's status still uncertain, Giulia looks to dominate Zelina Vega tonight and prove she deserves to stand across from Jade Cargill on the grandest stage.
And her opponent, from Queens, New York, Zelina Vega.
Zelina Vega makes her way to the ring, determined to put her recent disappointments behind her and refocus on climbing the women's division. A win over a championship contender caliber opponent like Giulia would be a major statement that Vega belongs in the title conversation as well. Giulia comes out firing at the opening bell, aggressively taking the fight to Zelina Vega as she looks to prove she is worthy of a championship opportunity. Giulia launches herself from the top turnbuckle, but Zelina Vega rolls out of harm's way and immediately takes control, mounting relentless pressure on Giulia with a fast-paced attack. Zelina continues taking the fight to Giulia with impressive determination, keeping the pressure on and refusing to back down from the challenge. Zelina waits for Giulia to rise before drilling her with the Mexican Destroyer and going for the pin. But Giulia somehow digs deep and kicks out at 2 to stay alive in the match. Giulia battles her way back into the match and immediately takes the fight straight back to Zelina Vega. Giulia unloads with a fierce burst of offense, forcing Vega onto the defensive. The momentum now swings completely in Giulia's favor as she takes firm control of the action. Zelina struggles to respond, while Giulia overwhelms her with relentless pressure and aggression. Giulia powers Zelina up onto her shoulders, then drives her into the mat with a devastating hammerlock Michinoku driver. Sensing the end is near, Giulia retreats to the corner and patiently waits for Zelina Vega to rise. Giulia charges across the ring and connects with the Arrivederci and immediately hooks the leg for the pin.
Here is your winner, Giulia.
Giulia secures the victory, continuing to build her case for a WWE Women's Championship opportunity. But her momentum is cut short as Jade Cargill storms in and attacks Giulia, delivering payback for last week's assault. Jade Cargill takes the microphone and makes it clear that she is not waiting around while Giulia tries to force her way into the title picture. She reveals that after speaking with the general manager, if Becky Lynch is not medically cleared by WrestleMania, Jade will face Giulia for the vacated WWE Women's Championship instead. Cargill stands tall with a direct warning. Giulia may have created chaos, but at WrestleMania, she may have to answer to the Women's Royal Rumble winner herself. We're getting word of a commotion backstage. Let's turn our attention to the cameras and see what's unfolding. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre erupt into a wild backstage brawl, with weeks of tension finally boiling over ahead of WrestleMania. The Men's Elimination Chamber winner is determined to prove that Cody's reign as undisputed WWE champion is nearing its end. Rhodes fights back with the heart and fire of a champion, refusing to let McIntyre intimidate him before their massive title clash. The road to WrestleMania has become even more personal and explosive. Will the Scottish psychopath dethrone the American Nightmare, or will his hopes be dashed?
The following tag team match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Tala, Mexico, weighing in at 165 pounds, he is the European champion, Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee makes his way to the ring, ready to team with Octagon Jr. against their common foes El Hijo del Vikingo and Lexis King. With his WrestleMania showdown against Vikingo coming next week, and Lexis King emerging as a threat to his European Championship reign, Lee looks to secure a momentum-building win tonight.
And his partner. From Mexico City, Mexico, weighing in at 185 pounds, Octagon Jr.
Octagon Jr. makes his way to the ring with his sights set on El Hijo del Vikingo and the AAA Mega Championship. Teaming with Dragon Lee against their common foes tonight, Octagon Jr. looks to gain momentum and strengthen his case for a future title challenge.
And their opponents. First, from Puebla, Mexico, weighing in at 161 pounds, he is the AAA Mega Champion, El Hijo del Vikingo.
El Hijo del Vikingo makes his way to the ring with something to prove. Looking to regain momentum after Dragon Lee turned the tables on his sneak attack last week. With their champion versus champion clash set for WrestleMania, Vikingo teams with Lexis King tonight, aiming to punish Dragon Lee and Octagon Jr. before they can get their revenge.
And his partner. From Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing in at 223 pounds, Lexis King.
Lexis King makes his way to the ring with confidence, teaming with El Hijo del Vikingo as they prepare to take on their common rivals. With his eyes firmly on Dragon Lee's European Championship, King knows that a win over the champion tonight could bring him one step closer to a future title opportunity. El Hijo del Vikingo and Dragon Lee kick things off for their teams, but it's Vikingo who quickly takes control with his explosive offense and forces Dragon Lee onto the defensive. Vikingo takes complete control of the match, dictating the pace against Lee from the opening exchange. Lee is forced onto the defensive as Vikingo keeps the pressure coming from every angle. Vikingo overwhelms him with a relentless barrage of offense, refusing to let Lee build any momentum. The high-flying star is firing on all cylinders as he dominates the action inside the ring. Vikingo makes the tag to Lexis King, and the two quickly combine for a smooth double-team attack on Dragon Lee. The teamwork keeps Lee grounded as Vikingo and King continue controlling the pace of the match. King leaps through the air looking to connect with a dropkick, but Lee evades it just in time and avoids the impact. Lee makes the tag to Octagon Jr., and the two immediately combine with seamless teamwork to take down Lexis King. Octagon Jr. stays aggressive, looking to keep the pressure firmly on King and build momentum for his team. But King suddenly fires back with a counter and sends Octagon Jr. crashing hard into the corner. King tags Vikingo back into the match, and the two quickly combine for another smooth double-team attack to take down Octagon Jr. Vikingo continues punishing Octagon Jr., keeping him trapped on the defensive with relentless offense. Vikingo then drives both feet into Octagon Jr. with a brutal double foot stomp and quickly hooks the leg for the pin. But Dragon Lee rushes into the ring just in time to break up the cover and save the match. Vikingo continues mounting the pressure, keeping Octagon trapped with relentless offense. Vikingo looks determined to keep complete control as Octagon struggles to create separation. But Octagon finally turns the momentum around with a counter and goes toward his corner to tag in Lee. Lee tries to build momentum and take control of the match, but Vikingo turns the tables and halts the comeback attempt. Vikingo keeps the pressure firmly on Lee, refusing to give him any room to recover. Vikingo dominates the pace of the match with relentless offense, overwhelming Lee at every turn. Lee is forced onto the defensive as Vikingo continues dictating the action inside the ring. Vikingo knocks Octagon off the apron to ringside before heading to the top turnbuckle and launches through the air, crashing down onto Lee with a spectacular 630 splash.
Here are your winners, El Hijo del Vikingo and Lexis King.
El Hijo del Vikingo secures the win for his team, pinning Dragon Lee and gaining major momentum ahead of their WrestleMania showdown. Vikingo and Lexis King are not done, retrieving steel chairs from under the ring and launching a vicious post-match assault on Dragon Lee and Octagon Jr. Breaking news! Bayley and Naomi will settle their deeply personal rivalry at WrestleMania in a last woman standing match, finally putting an end to the chaos between the former friends. SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis has made it clear that if either woman causes further disruption before then, the match is off, and both will face fines and suspensions.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 210 pounds, representing the D'Angelo family. He is the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov.
Ilya Dragunov makes his way to the ring with confidence and intensity, standing firmly aligned with Tony D'Angelo and the D'Angelo family. Tonight, the Mad Dragon looks to make a violent statement and showcase the ruthless brutality this alliance is capable of delivering.
And his opponent, from Cordoba, Veracruz, weighing in at 190 pounds, representing Latino World Order, Cruz del Toro.
Cruz del Toro makes his way to the ring with determination, ready to seize a major opportunity against the dangerous Ilya Dragunov. Tonight, he looks to make a name for himself, build momentum, and bring pride to his faction with a statement performance. Cruz del Toro comes out flying right from the opening bell and quickly goes for an early pin attempt, but Dragunov defiantly powers out to stay alive. Del Toro keeps the pressure firmly on Dragunov, using his speed and aggression to stay one step ahead. Dragunov is forced onto the back foot as Del Toro continues overwhelming him with relentless offense. Dragunov finally battles his way back into the match and swings the momentum in his favor with a fierce comeback. Dragunov is getting fired up now, unleashing his intensity as he starts taking control of the action. Dragunov continues punishing Del Toro, unloading with brutal offense and relentless intensity. Dragunov keeps mounting the pressure without slowing down, forcing Del Toro deeper onto the defensive. Del Toro struggles to respond as Dragunov completely overwhelms him with his non-stop attack. Dragunov charges across the ring and blasts Cruz del Toro with the devastating Torpedo Moscow, driving him down to the mat. With Del Toro laid out, Dragunov follows up immediately with the crushing H-bomb to leave no doubt. Dragunov then hooks the leg and goes for the pin.
Here's your winner, Ilya Dragunov.
Ilya Dragunov secures the victory, but before he can celebrate, Javon Evans storms out and attacks him to get revenge for the recent assaults Dragunov inflicted on him. Javon Evans takes out Ilya Dragunov with a vicious attack, finally exacting some revenge for the punishment he's endured in recent weeks.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Bulgaria, weighing in at 304 pounds, he is the Bulgarian Brute, Rusev.
Rusev makes his way to the ring with intensity, looking to build momentum ahead of his United States Championship match against Kevin Owens. With WrestleMania fast approaching, the Bulgarian Brute aims to send a dominant message on the grandest stage's doorstep.
And his opponent, from San Diego, California, weighing in at 175 pounds, representing Latino World Order, he is Hall of Famer, the master of the 619, Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio makes his way to the ring, ready to take on the brutal force of Rusev in a major test tonight. The legendary luchador is determined to prove he still has what it takes to overcome the odds and compete at the highest level. The bell rings to start the match, but Kevin Owens' entrance immediately interrupts the action and shifts everyone's attention to the stage. As Owens makes his way over to join commentary, Rusev is visibly irritated and distracted by the United States Champion's presence at ringside. Rey Mysterio immediately capitalizes on a distracted Rusev, bringing the fight straight to the powerhouse at the opening bell. Rusev is overwhelmed by Rey's incredible speed and fast-paced offense, as the distraction caused by Kevin Owens proves costly and allows Mysterio to seize early control of the match. Rey is firing on all cylinders, forcing Rusev onto the back foot and leaving him struggling to get back to his feet. Rey Mysterio goes for the 619, but Rusev catches him in mid-motion and shuts the attack down. The powerhouse suddenly explodes back into the match, mounting a furious comeback and turning the momentum completely around. The action spills to ringside as Rusev launches Rey Mysterio out of the ring with a punishing clothesline. With Rey still down, Rusev turns his attention to Kevin Owens and the two exchange heated words at commentary. But when Rey charges back into the fight, Rusev moves out of the way just in time, causing Mysterio to crash into Owens instead. With Owens taken out of the equation, Rusev rolls Rey back into the ring and resumes the assault. Rusev unloads with relentless offense, battering Rey with brutal strikes and overwhelming power. Rey is being completely smothered now as Rusev continues dishing out punishment without mercy. Sensing the end is near, Rusev waits in the corner for Rey to struggle back to his feet. Rusev then charges in and blasts Rey with the Machka kick before immediately trapping him in the devastating Accolade submission.
Here is your winner, Rusev!
Rusev secures the victory despite Kevin Owens' presence at ringside earlier. But the Bulgarian Brute is not finished, locking Rey Mysterio back in the Accolade as the referee struggles desperately to force him to release the hold. Alex Shelley makes his way to the ring with microphone in hand, ready to speak his mind and address the WWE Universe. Representing the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley calls out the WWE Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Brothers, making it clear they have the titles firmly in their sights. Penta emerges on behalf of the champions, showing respect as he praises the Motor City Machine Guns for their legendary status in tag team wrestling. On behalf of the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley officially challenges the Lucha Brothers to a WWE Tag Team Championship match next week. Penta readily accepts the challenge for next week, vowing that the Lucha Brothers will retain the WWE Tag Team Championships. With the challenge officially accepted, next week's WWE Tag Team Championship showdown is set between Motor City Machine Guns and the Lucha Brothers.
The following tag team match, scheduled for one fall, is to determine the #1 contenders to the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, they are the team of Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez, the Terror Twins.
The Terror Twins make their way to the ring with purpose, determined to silence the Irresistible Forces after weeks of harassment and disruption. With WrestleMania just 1 week away, Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez look to put this issue to bed and enter the title match as the undisputed challengers.
And their opponents, they are the team of Nia Jax and Lash Legend, the Irresistible Forces.
The Irresistible Forces make their way to the ring with power and determination, still believing they were unfairly denied their place as #1 contenders. Tonight, Nia Jax and Lash Legend finally get the chance to rip that WrestleMania opportunity away from the Terror Twins and claim the spotlight for themselves. The bell rings, and Rhea Ripley immediately charges after Nia Jax, but Jax uses her overwhelming power to halt Ripley's early assault. Lash Legend and Jax quickly isolate Ripley in their corner, exchanging tags and combining for punishing double-team offense against Ripley. Jax continues overpowering Ripley, using her sheer strength to force Ripley onto the defensive and keep her grounded. Jax continues overpowering Ripley, using her sheer strength to dominate the pace of the match. Ripley is forced onto the defensive as Jax keeps bullying her around the ring with punishing offense. But Ripley finally finds an opening to counter after weathering the storm. Ripley takes Jax down and buys herself a crucial moment to recover and regroup. Ripley makes the tag to the fresher Rodriguez, who immediately charges in looking to bring the fight to Jax. But Jax is ready for her, countering Rodriguez and stopping the momentum before it can build. Jax then tags in Lash Legend, and the two powerhouses combine for a punishing tag team maneuver to take Rodriguez down. Rodriguez finally catches Legend with a counter and drops her hard to the mat. Rodriguez now firmly takes control of the match, shifting the momentum back in her favor. Rodriguez knocks Jax off the apron and sends her crashing down to ringside to prevent any interference. Rodriguez then hoists Legend up and plants her hard into the mat with the devastating Tejana Bomb.
Here are your winners, the Terror Twins.
The Terror Twins secure the victory, but Chelsea Green and Piper Niven waste no time making their presence felt, ambushing their challengers and sending a strong warning ahead of the title clash.
The following championship opportunity tournament quarterfinal is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, he is the OTC, Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns makes his way to the ring with a rare sense of urgency, knowing he is currently missing from the WrestleMania card for the first time in a long while. Tonight, the OTC must overcome Randy Orton if he wants to keep his path alive toward the tournament final and a place on the grandest stage.
And his opponent, from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 275 pounds, he is the Viper, Randy Orton.
Randy Orton makes his way to the ring, focused on rebuilding momentum after recently losing the undisputed WWE Championship back to Cody Rhodes. Tonight, the Viper looks to strike down Roman Reigns, advance in the tournament, and move one step closer to earning another shot at World Championship gold. The bell rings, and Roman Reigns and Randy Orton immediately go back and forth, with neither man willing to give an inch in this massive quarterfinal clash. Both superstars hustle aggressively for the advantage, knowing that victory tonight moves them one step closer to advancing in the tournament and earning a future championship opportunity. Randy uses his veteran instincts to gain the early advantage and take control of the match. Randy keeps Reigns grounded with calculated offense, refusing to let the former champion build any momentum. Randy sends Reigns to the ropes and grabs him. Randy then plants Reigns with the devastating spike DDT to keep firm control of the match. Randy stalks Reigns, ready to end the match. As Reigns gets back to his feet, Randy drops him with a vicious RKO. Randy hooks the leg, but Reigns somehow digs deep and kicks out to stay alive. Roman battles back into the match and swings the momentum firmly in his favor. He seizes control with the relentless barrage of offense, taking the fight straight to Orton. Randy is forced onto the back foot as Roman overwhelms him with power and non-stop pressure. Roman is firmly in control now as he waits in the corner for Orton to rise before charging in and blasting him with a Superman punch. Roman wastes no time heading back into the corner. He explodes across the ring with the devastating spear and hooks the leg for the pin.
Here is your winner, Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns secures a hard-fought victory over Randy Orton, advancing to the semifinal of the Championship Opportunity Tournament. The OTC is now one step closer to earning a WrestleMania match and a future world title opportunity. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you like this video.